It's not based on where you've been when he shows you something great. It ain't based on where, what people think about you. It ain't based on what people, what people has heard about you. But he only deals with you based on where he's trying to take you. Y'all missed what I just said. A lot of time when God is trying to move you, it's not based on where you've been. It's based on where he's trying to take you. See, people will only promote you based on where you've been. So they want to know if you're qualified. Can you do this? Well, I remember when you did that. But God said, I'm going to erase all that. I'm not based off your history. I'm based off your destiny. And I'm trying to move you into something great. When Barack became president, they tried to bring up everything he did. Well, when he was in second grade, he cheated on the test number 2, but he still became president. Ask your neighbor, say, neighbor, when was the last time you got excited about what you saw? Now, some of y'all ain't never been excited. Look at the other neighbor and say, neighbor, when was the last time you got excited because of what you saw? Can I get a witness up in here? Because if God has shown you something, it's greater than where you are, and that ought to be worth being excited about. Because that lets you know that where you are is not where you're going to stay, and God is going to move you into a better situation. Somebody get excited. So Moses, he stands up in verse 1 and he said, Lord, if I go down in Egypt, watch what he says. He says, I don't have no validation. Hold on. Yeah, you do. All you gotta do is say, God told you. That's the validation.
Yes, it is.
Then he says, watch the thing. He says, and because I'm not gonna have no validation, he says, then they're not gonna trust what I say. And the reason it's so difficult to get people to trust your vision or to trust what God has shown you is because most time when God gives a vision, watch this, he only gives it to you.
All right.
That's why it's so hard to get the people that are rolling with you to understand what God has shown you, because he ain't showed it to them. And so when they are hearing your vision, y'all listen. Your vision has no validation because most people can only validate what they can see. But look at your neighbor and say, no, only for those that God has shown vision to. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't have to see it to believe it. Not when I already know what he has shown me. If I tell you that I'm going to be blessed and not stressed, you can believe me because that's what he showed me. You might not understand it, but I believe it. And so Moses says, because of no validation, they're not going to see my vision, which now takes us to verse number 2. Look at verse number 2. We're about to get ready to turn this corner and go home. Verse number 2, and the Lord said unto Moses. Uh-oh.
Come on.
Watch this. This is powerful.
Yes, it is.
Moses going to say, Lord, they're not going to see the vision because my conversation have no validation. And then look what God said right after he says that. he says unto Moses, and the Lord said unto Moses, what is in your hand? Watch this. In other words, you want validation? You want to show them a miracle? Because you're afraid that they won't see what I'm talking about. He said, what is in your hand? What does Moses say? What was in Moses' hand? Everybody say just the rod. But look what Moses said. What does Moses say? Y'all listen. Y'all listen. Watch this. If God had asked me, if God came right now and said, Melvin, what's on your feet? First of all, why is God questioning on my feet? Why is the God that made heaven and earth? It ain't like he don't know that I'm wearing shoes. So evidently, let me think about this before I give an answer. Let me make sure I give the right response. So God is asking me about my shoes. So that must mean that there's some power in my shoe. If God is going to ask me about my shoe. So let me just kind of look at my shoe. Oh God, you know what I got on my feet? I got power on my feet. I got the power to walk through any bad situation. God said, what's in your hand, Moses? Moses said, ain't nothing but a rod. Watch this. Touch the neighbor and say, next time God asks you a question, analyze it before you respond. Because a lot of y'all miss it in your response. When God asked Moses in verse 2, what is in your hand? God wanted Moses to know what he had in his possession. See, to Moses, it was just a rock. But to God, it was something that God was going to prove who he was. Y'all miss that. See, some of y'all miss it just like Moses did. Moses just went up to God and said, they're not going to see the vision because of my conversation. And then right after that, God said, what's in your hand? Instead of Moses looking at what was in his hand, he going to respond, just a rod. Watch this. And this is amazing to me because here it is. Moses had been walking around with the same rod for 40 years and he'd been having the same 40-year rod in his hand. And what Moses didn't know was, he didn't know what he was walking with is going to be the same thing that God was going to use to make him powerful. He didn't know that what he had all the while was the one thing that God needed the most. Some of y'all are sitting on your gift, and the gift that God has given you is the one thing that can make you powerful. But because you don't know what's in your hand, it ain't being used. Baby, let me tell you something. You don't know how powerful your shot is. But because you won't say nothing, then nothing ain't gonna happen. But once you realize the power of your praise, watch this, watch this. The reason why some of you right now haven't experienced your breakthrough is because you have not identified what you have. Some of y'all breakthrough is staring you right in the face. But because you don't know what you're working with, you understand? Some of y'all blessings is you can, matter of fact, reach out and grab it. But because you haven't realized what you got in your possession, some of you are going to be in the same position this year that you was in last year. But look at your neighbor and say, once you realize what you have. Some of y'all are possessing power to move mountains. Some of y'all are possessing power to walk through the valley. Some of y'all are possessing power to weather this storm. As a matter of fact, some of y'all got the power to take divine deliverance to the next dimension. But the only reason you can't stand in the storm is because a lot of you don't know what you have. You haven't realized what you're working with. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, do you know what you have? Because what you have, watch this, it's more than just a rod. Your gift is more than just a gift. The anointing that God has placed on your life is more than just an anointing. What you have, what you actually have, if you start using it, it can make demons back up and leave you alone. You just got to know how to use it. Touch your neighbor and say, but today I'm going to find out what it is.